So, when you hear a phrase like AI coding tool, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Probably something like, nope, that's not for me, right? But what if I told you that one of the most powerful new tools out there, Claude Code, was actually designed for everyone, especially for those of us who've never written a single line of code in our lives?
You know that feeling? We've all been there. You're just going about your day, and bam, you get this amazing idea for the perfect app, a brilliant website, or even just a simple little tool that would make your life so much easier. And then reality hits. You don't know how to build it, and that great idea just kind of sits there, gathering dust. I mean, up until now, you really only had two options, and let's be honest, neither of them were great. You could try to learn to code yourself, which is this long, super steep journey that most people understandably give up on. Or you could hire a developer, which means you need a budget, you're dealing with their timelines, and you're essentially handing your big idea over to someone else. Both options were pretty big hurdles.
Well, that barrier, that massive wall between having a great idea and actually making it, it's starting to come down. A whole new way of thinking about AI is changing the game completely.
Okay, so this new approach has a name. It's called Agentic coding. And I want you to forget everything you think you know about code, all that complicated syntax and stuff. This is totally different. It's all about just describing what you want in plain English. You have an AI assistant, an agent, that not only understands you, but it plans out the steps and then actually does the work for you. It's not just a helper, it's a doer.
Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds great on paper, but does it really work in the real world? Well, Anthropic, the company that makes Claude, put it to the ultimate test. They held a coding competition, a hackathon, and the results, well, they were not what anyone expected.
Out of that entire event, one number stood out. Just one, and that number was 3.
Yeah, you heard me right. 3 of the 5 winners were not professional developers. We're talking about a cardiologist, a personal injury attorney, and a road systems worker. These folks use this new agentic approach to build better tools, and they beat out hundreds of experienced software engineers. This wasn't just a lucky break. This was a sign that something huge is shifting. In this quote just nails the whole idea, right? Think about it. The best solutions have always come from the people who actually experience the problem every single day. By getting rid of that technical barrier, tools like Claude Code are finally letting the real experts, whether they're in medicine or law or logistics, build their own solutions.
Okay, so we've established this thing is a game changer for building stuff, no doubt about it. But here's the thing. The name Claude Code is kind of misleading because some of its best, most powerful uses have absolutely nothing to do with code at all. Right? I mean, let's be real, most of us aren't trying to build the next Facebook on a random Tuesday. We're just trying to get through our workday. So what's in it for us? What can this tool do on our own computers, like right now? Well, since Claude Code runs right in your computer's terminal, and don't worry, that's just a fancy name for a simple text window, it can actually see and touch your local files. And that changes everything. It becomes this incredible personal assistant. Need to rename hundreds of files? Done. Analyze data from a spreadsheet? Easy. Whip up a chart? No problem. Summarize a 50-page PDF? You got it. It just automates all those annoying digital chores. Okay, let's make this super concrete. Picture this. You just got back from vacation and you have 500 photos all named something like IMG__7439. Renaming those one by one would be an absolute nightmare, right? With Claude Code, you just type one single sentence describing the pattern, and a job that would have taken you an hour of mind-numbing clicking is over in seconds.
But wait, it gets even better, because it's not just about wrangling files on your own computer. This is about connecting Claude to all the other apps and services you already use, turning it into a kind of central command hub for your whole workflow.
And the way this works is through something with a kind of techie name, the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. But don't let the name fool you. The simplest way to think about it is like a universal adapter or a secure bridge. It's what lets Claude talk to your other apps so you can control them using those same simple English commands. And we're not talking about obscure apps here. We're talking about the heavy hitters, the tools you're probably in all day, every day. Imagine just telling it, hey, find that planning doc in my Notion, or create a new note about this in Notebook LM, and it just does it. And since the community is always building new integrations, the list of what you can connect to is getting bigger all the time. Okay, I hear you. You're thinking, setting all that up sounds complicated.
And you know what? It could be. But here's the absolute magic of it. If you get stuck, you just ask Claude Code for help. You can literally tell it, hey, install the Notion integration for me, and it will go find it, install it, set it up, and it'll even fix its own mistakes if something goes wrong. How cool is that?
All right, so we've covered how it can build new things from scratch and how it can supercharge your daily workflow. But there's one more piece to this puzzle, and it's all about how you can teach it brand new tricks, totally customized for you. And you do this using a feature they call skills. A skill is, well, it's basically like teaching a personal assistant a new task. It's a saved recipe. You show Claude how you want something done once, and it remembers it forever. No more repeating those long, complex instructions over and over.
And yeah, you can totally build your own skills from the ground up, but the best way to dive in is to see what other people have already made. Take this for example. Some developer created a skill that turns Claude Code into an interactive presentation generator.
And check out how ridiculously easy this is to use. Step 1, you tell Claude to install the skill. Step 2, you just describe your topic, maybe pick a style, and boom. Step 3, it spits out a full, working, interactive slideshow for you. Just stop and think about that for a second. That boring black box with the blinking text on your screen, it suddenly becomes a full-blown presentation app. That's the power of skills. They can completely flip the script on what you thought a tool like this could even do. Look, I get it. That command line, the terminal, it looks intimidating, especially if you've never used one before. It's probably the #1 reason someone who's not a developer would just say, nah, not for me. But the entire point of Claude Code is that you don't need to know all that technical gobbledygook. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Listen to what Manor Faisal over at XDA wrote about it. They said, the learning curve is surprisingly gentle. You do not need to be a developer to start building, automating, and creating with it. So that brings us full circle, right back to the beginning. That great idea you had, that annoying problem you deal with every single day at work, that soul-crushing, tedious task you wish you never had to do again, the barrier to solving it, it's gone. So if the only thing holding you back now is your own imagination, what are you going to solve first?